Hey, Bald-ass Brewer here. It's time to transfer some wort from the primary to the secondary. What do you say? Let's get started. The tools that I'll be using to transfer the wort from the primary to the secondary are carboy. In this case, I'm using a 5-gallon glass carboy. Auto siphoner. This will make transferring a lot easier for you. Attached to the auto siphoner, I have 7 feet of plastic tubing. I'll be using a funnel this time around to add the cocoa nibs and coffee. An airlock and a bung. Lastly, a wine thief. These will all need to be sanitized before the transition. This is the wort that we'll be transferring from this primary to a secondary carboy. It is a chocolate porter. We will be adding 4 ounces of organic cacao nibs and 24 ounces of cold brew mocha java coffee. So this is my setup. I have a primary carboy and a secondary carboy. The primary, of course, is higher than the secondary to allow gravity to do its work. In the primary, I've got my auto siphon, and attached to the auto siphon is the 7 feet of tubing. In the lower carboy, I have a funnel so that I can add the cocoa nibs and the coffee. So as we finish up adding the coffee to this batch, we're then going to take the wort from the primary and we're going to be putting it into the secondary, allowing gravity to do most of the work. The way we do this, of course, is using the auto siphon and the 7 feet of tubing attached to it. We put the tubing into the second carboy, and I like to use a large length of tubing so that it reaches the bottom of that carboy, and then when the wort goes from the primary to the secondary, it doesn't aerate the wort too much. And it's a very simple process. Put the tubing in, take the plunger on the auto siphon, just plunger it, and gravity does the work for you. So as you can see, I've tilted the carboy just a little bit so I can draw the last of the clear wort off the bottom. After this step, I'll get a sample of the wort. Now in the beginning inventory, I suggested a wine thief. Now a wine thief will allow you to draw enough wort so that you can use a hydrometer. I use a refractometer, so all I need is a few drops. After getting this sample, I'll set it aside, and then I'll add the bung and the airlock to to the second carboy. After I've got those attached, I'll then take this carboy and I'll put it in its fermentable environment. The whole process of transferring wort from a primary to a secondary only takes about 30 minutes. And, more importantly, it's pretty stress-free. I would like to thank my beer mentor, Bob Gamache. It all started with a clean beer bottle. It was your inspiration that has placed me in this crazy mess of a hobby. It's all your fault. Thanks, Bob.